for every meal we ship, which we do about 45,000 meals every single week across the UK, and for every single meal every single week that we sell to a customer, we'll then donate a meal to a child living in poverty.
I want to welcome you to Humans of Business, where we go beyond a typical business video series, focusing not on the what, but the who. Today, I'm incredibly excited to have a chat with Giles Humphries. A challenger of conventions and thinking differently, Giles is one half of healthy recipe box subscription Mindful Chef. The duo from Devon decided to combine a passion for healthy, fresh produce with the trend for pre-portioned recipe boxes to build a sustainable business. Mindful Chef is popular with the likes of Victoria Pendleton, Sir Andy Murray, who all invest in their business in a very successful crowdfund campaign recently. Giles is also the author of the cookbook Mindful Chef, 30-Minute Meals. He's a fishing enthusiast, a rugby player, and an all-round great guy. I can't wait to find out more about him. Thanks so much for joining me on the Humans of Business sofa today. It's an absolute pleasure to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
The first question I really wanted to ask you was around, you do a lot about education and teaching people about organic food, buying local and healthier options. Why is that important to you?
I think it's from the early days when we set up Mindful Chef. So we are three friends, still friends.
Still friends, that's good.
And we were all at school together in Exeter. So we went to school in Exeter, and we spent a lot of time. I mean, Exeter, you can drive 10 minutes out of it, and you're in the fields and on the farms and by the fishing boats. So we spent a lot of time in the countryside and realised that you could get really good quality local produce. You didn't have to go further afield, and that was one of the cornerstones of the business when we set out. Was we actually started sourcing just from the West Country. We then quickly realised that there's lots of things that don't grow in the West Country, and so we've expanded it. But from the early days, it was really important that we focused on those suppliers with stories, small family-run businesses, and reducing food miles. So that kind of set us up, and then from there, every new supplier that we found, we ensured that they matched our values.
Yeah. And through your book and through a lot of the talks you do, you're really teaching people to be mindful about what they're eating. You made it sound very simple. Well, I'm learning a lot just sitting here talking to you. I think a lot of what you do is also around giving back around food. So I know you've donated over 500,000 meals to kids in poverty. Why is that something that you do? Why do you do that, not just your normal business?
We said early on that we wanted to be a business that's a force for good. So we obviously we reduce food waste, and we try and bring balance to people's lives and give them healthier diets. But also we thought there must be something else we can do. And we found this amazing charity called One Feeds Two, where it's kind of like the Tom's shoe model from the States. And One Feeds Two, essentially, they came to us, and then we thought, these guys are brilliant. And essentially for every meal we ship, which we do about 45,000 meals every single week across the UK, and for every single meal every single week that we sell to a customer, we'll then donate a meal to a child living in poverty. And that's really important to us because you're not only doing good in your local communities, but actually for us, the children living in poverty are actually in Malawi, and we're doing good further afield, and also it enables our customers to feel like they're doing good because it's their purchase which is triggering that. And it's not just food, actually, it's getting people, getting kids off the street into school. So it's a school meal, it's a lunch, and so we've done about 800,000 now, and that equates to something like 4,000 kids through an entire school year. So it's great. That's
incredible. And I know you're a B Corp as well. I think I've said a lot of times, and I go on about this a lot, there shouldn't be such a thing as social enterprise. Every business should just do good at the core of what they do. We're not quite there in society yet, but it's great to see companies like yours not only delivering nutritious meals to me, but actually helping people much further afield as well with education. So I'd love to know how you think your team would describe you as a person. How do you think they would?
Oh, that's a good question.
How would they describe you?
I've never been asked that. How would they describe me? I hope they'd think of me as fairly conscientious and empower people, give them a bit of autonomy. I think that's really important in business. Whether it's a junior person coming in or a senior person, you have to give people autonomy and feel like they can make a difference. So I think that's really important. Kind of out of business, just as a person, I think quite mild-mannered. I'm really honest and open about the business metrics, how we're doing, run rate, whereas other people are really guarded. I've met lots of entrepreneurs in the field who are, the classic, being a consultant, gone through, set up a business after they've done a few years, either as a consultant or an investment banker. But actually, some of the best entrepreneurs, I think, are quite open. Others are quite guarded. But
Yeah.
I'd like to say I'm pretty open and honest.
I think transparency and honesty is the only way to run businesses, really, because I think that your team or your customers, they want to know that you are a real person and there is a real business there that has real purpose. So I love that you do that. I'd like to know who inspires you and why.
Joe Wicks, in a funny way, is quite inspirational because he started with absolutely nothing in a park in southwest London and has built this empire very, very quickly. And actually, I think he's an inspiration because he shows what's possible through hard work and determination. And actually, I remember when we started our business and he had like 30,000 followers or whatever on Instagram, and someone sent me a link, said this guy's great. And I remember thinking, oh, that guy's gonna go far. And then here we are 3 years later, and he's absolutely smashing it. So I think he's pretty inspirational.
What I love about him as well is he does it with a lot of fun.
Correct.
And he
seems
take
to be
business
himself.
Too seriously, he seems to be himself. I've never met him, so I don't know if he is, but he seems to be really authentic and really fun, and that makes his content really engaging. And he just seems like a really nice guy, and that's why I think we watch him and we'll buy his books, because he just seems like a nice guy.
Yeah, he brings an openness to business where he's just honesty and he showed that you don't have to follow a blueprint. You can create a business from anywhere. And I think similarly, another person who inspires me is Blake McCoskey from Tom Shoes. I started reading up about him after we started our One Feed to Two charity initiative with the school children. And actually, I read his book and then read more about him. I was like, oh, he's great too, because he started with nothing again, very little. It wasn't a kind of it wasn't a manufactured startup career. It was actually, started it from my garage and went to South America, and this is where the idea was genuinely born. And he's created a brilliant empire from that. So I think those two are pretty inspirational people.
What's like a really ridiculous thing about you? Like, what makes you really human? It can be anything. Like, how long do you brew your tea? A really weird thing.
Well, I still have Brown Bear, my little teddy bear from when I was
cute.
I had a brown bear, lost him when I was 2. So mum and dad gave me a replacement when I was 2, apparently, and I've kept him ever since.
Oh, so you have him when you're bed at home?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Great, I love that. So we've asked all of our guests to bring something that they have in their keepsake box, and I know you don't have anything physically with you.
I know, I lost it.
Because you lost it, but I know the memory is what's more important. So can you tell us a little bit about what was in your keepsake box and explain why that is so important to you?
So it was a ticket and a photo. So the ticket was to a rugby game at Twickenham, and the photo was of my dad and I at that game, and it was in the early 90s, and it was an England game, and it was my first ever visit to Twickenham to watch any kind of big rugby game. And he was going through a really stressful period. He was working ridiculously hard all over the world to try and make ends meet, etc., basically going anywhere to make it happen. But he always made time for those special moments, and that was really important to me, so that's why I kept that photo.
Yeah. And is that something that you try and do with your friends and family now, always make time? Because it's hard, isn't it, when you run a business to make those time for those special moments?
I think I'm a bit of a planner, so I like to just look at my calendar and set things up in advance and just have something to... It's really good to help you look forward to stuff with you and your friends or family, and you just got something there in the diary, no matter how busy work is, etc., that it's coming up on that Saturday or Sunday, and you, whether it's going out somewhere or going away or getting out of London or whatever, it's just nice to have in the diary.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to ask some quick fire questions.
Yeah, go for it.
How do you have your eggs?
Post.
Text or WhatsApp?
WhatsApp.
Netflix or Amazon?
Netflix.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Oh, you had to think about it.
I had a lovely cat called Andy Cat, but my girlfriend's allergic to cats, so I can't ever have a cat, which is really annoying.
So you had to say dogs.
So I had to say dogs.
Facebook, Twitter or Instagram?
Instagram.
Favourite drink?
Good question. Mojito.
Toilet paper, over or under? Did you put it over or did you put it under?
Over.
Would you rather receive an email or receive a letter?
Letter. Too many emails nowadays.
I like that. That's exactly what we do. Book or ebook?
Book. Love a real book.
Entrepreneurs born or made?
Oh, no, they're probably born, but I think anyone has the ability to be one if you put your mind to it.
Humans are?
creative, passionate and kind.
I'm happiest when
I'm in the mountains.
I'm an entrepreneur because
I want to make a difference.
the legacy I want to leave behind is
Making it clear that it's actually quite easy to eat healthily long term, and actually see an impact on people's lives as a result of it.
incredible. Well, I want to thank you so much for being here. So I've got you a little gift.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
I did spot that. Nicely
It has
wrapped.
your name on it, obviously. So yeah, this is just a little something from us. If you'd like to open it.
Thank you.
and see
Someone's
what
got
it
a good choice of wrapping paper.
is. Fishing is my kind of thing.
I love it. I love it.
Giles, it's been an absolute pleasure and so much fun talking to you. Thank you so much for being here with me today and sharing a bit more about you and the human behind Mindful Chef.
Thanks for having me. It's been great.